We are live. Hello, hello, ladies and gentlemen. Hello, those just joining in, go ahead and share the live feed. Go ahead and share the live feed if you're just joining in. Um, we are here to have another powerful time, another really good show. Um, Please, if you're just joining in, go ahead and share the live feed. Myself, I'm also sharing so we can get as many people as possible to join in. Okay, so let's go ahead and share the live feed. Share the live feed, guys. Share the live feed. If you're just joining us, go ahead and share the live feed. We're about to get started. Okay.
Descendants of power, children of the unbeatable King, we are his extension. The earth is our place, he has given it to us. We are taking over, we are taking over, oh, we are taking over. This is the kingdom invading earth. I'm called, predestined, ordained. Before I was born, I knew I'd be here. I know the power that lives inside me. I know the power. I know the power. We are taking over. We are taking over.
We are taking over. That's a Kingdom Takeover song by Maureen Foba, my very own baby girl here in the house. Maureen Foba, please, if you're just joining us, this is the Defining Decade, and today I'm going to be your host. My name is Julius T. Julius T. I'm based in Houston, Texas, and it's a beautiful weather here in Houston. The sun is just it's the morning hours, so the sun is just rising. It looks like it's going to be a really beautiful day. So yes, I definitely look forward to it. Wherever you're watching me from, I'm hoping that you're having a great day. I'm hoping that you're having a good time. I know people will be watching us from Asia. People will be watching us from Europe. Of course, from Africa, most part of Cameroon, West Africa. Wherever you're watching us, I greet you. I want to say that you're welcome to the show. Please go ahead and share the live feed. Today, we're going to be having a really, really great time. Also, on today's show, we're going to be having a very important guest. I'm going to be talking to you about him in a little bit, but for now, please go ahead and share the live feed. Share the live feed wherever you are. Please go ahead and click on the share button and share the live feed. The knowledge we have to give to you today, what we have in store for you today, is rich and it's very timely. So I want to encourage you to stay tuned to the feed, stay connected to the feed. Do not leave for any reason. Now, before I go ahead and get started and bring in our guest, I want to share with you a very important story. I always like to, whenever I want to start my shows, I want to share a story. Now, this story is very, very inspirational and is very, very encouraging. So, wherever you are listening from, let pay attention to this because I'm pretty sure you'll pick one or two things. And while that is happening, please, wherever you are, go ahead and share the live feed. I'm going to give us a quick 30 seconds for everybody to share the live feed before I'll go ahead and get started with this very interesting story. You don't want to miss it. Please share the live feed, share the live feed. Go ahead and distribute the link everywhere on all groups, platforms, however, invite somebody. You guys don't want to miss this. It's going to be a really, really interesting show. Okay, so that's 10 more seconds to go. Share the live feed, please. 10 seconds, share the live feed. I want to share with you a very beautiful story. So stay right there. Don't go away. Stay right there as you're sharing the feed. Again, ladies and gentlemen, this is the Defining Decade, and I'm your host today, and my name is Julius T. I want to go ahead and get started with this very interesting story of this amazing old lady. There's a story of about an old woman who needed to walk to the river every day to fetch water. Now, she brought two buckets with her every time she goes to that river. She will fill up both buckets with water, and she will walk them back to her tiny little home. This she did over the years. Now, one of the buckets was very strong and sturdy and held water safely, but the other bucket contained a very small crack at the bottom that leaked water. Now, but every time this woman would bring both buckets to this river to fetch water. Now, by the time the old woman will arrive home, usually about half the water in the bucket that had that little crack at the bottom would have leaked to the ground. So she will only arrive home with half a bucket of water. So one of the buckets was filled with water to the brims. The other was half. Why? Because there was a crack at the bottom, and that leaked water. So one day, the perforated bucket, the bucket that had the crack at the bottom, that little crack at the bottom expanded a little more, which means that there was now more water that was flowing out. So this particular day, um, this lady that always felt like she had to go to the stream with both buckets, decided that she had to look into that crack situation, you know. And so, but before she decided to look into it, the bucket decided to let me use the bucket as a person here, right? Just to be able to explain the concept of my story. So the bucket decided to speak to this woman. So and this bucket said, Mama, I'm sorry for being defective. I'm sorry that for over these years that you've had me, I had this crack at the bottom, and I have been leaking water. And every day you go and fetch water, but I have not been able to bring the full water, back to your house because I was leaking. And so when the bucket said that, this woman laughed, and she said something that was very important. Please pay attention. Now, before I get to this part of the story, click share and share the live feed. Share the live feed and invite somebody to join. Now, when this bucket told this woman that I'm cracked and I'm leaking water every day, feel free to go ahead and replace me. Feel free to go ahead and replace me because I am defective. Now, the old woman said to this bucket, I understand if you need me to replace, if you need that I replace you, I understand. The woman smiled and she laughed and she said, do you think that I didn't know that you had a crack at your bottom over these years? I knew that there was a crack, she said to this bucket. Look at all the beautiful flowers. She said something to the bucket. She said, look at all the beautiful flowers on the street. Look on the street of this road that I take every day to go and fetch water. Look at all these beautiful flowers. Do you think I did not know that you had a crack? She said. And she said, I planted the seeds of these flowers. All these beautiful things you see, I planted these seeds. But they are looking this beautiful every day because they needed something to water them. They needed water to water them. I did not have the strength to have to go and fetch water to water this air on daily basis. You did the job for me. So every day I went and fetched water. On my way back, while you were leaking, you were watering all these beautiful flowers that I now have on this beautiful street of mine. And so the bucket was amazed at the response of this woman. Why am I sharing this story? Relevance and importance in life, in work, in our relationship has everything to do with how we judge the crack in our own bucket, because we all have a crack somehow in our own bucket. We have tend to write ourselves off most of the times. We tend to relegate ourselves. We tend to draw back in life because we all have cracks, because we are all broken in one piece or in one portion of our lives or another. It is a crack that disfigures us, that taints us, that ruins our experiences. Or it is a crack that makes us relegate and feel that we are not enough, most times in life, we always will have cracks in one way or the other. But what we should know is like this bucket. This woman knew that the bucket had a crack, but she did not give up on that bucket because that crack was serving a purpose. So even though you could be broken, you could have a little crack in your life, that you are seeing it as something that things you or relegates you to something that or to someone you did not plan to be, or to a situation or a circumstance that you did not expect. You should know that that crack is serving an important purpose, because the crack on that bucket was serving an important purpose. It was dripping water that was watering the beautiful flowers on the streets. So it is that important. The moral of the story is, do not relegate yourself to a position because you have a crack. The crack that you have in you might just be serving a purpose. And that purpose is a result, is the reason why there were those beautiful flowers on the streets. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the defining decade, and my name is Julius T. On today's show, we have an important guest. His name is Mr. Phi Timothy. I'm going to go ahead and bring him on now because we have a lot of beautiful things to talk about. You are welcome, sir.
Hi,
How are you doing today?
I'm doing great, thank you.
Awesome, awesome. How is the family?
Perfect, family is fine. Family
Okay,
is
I was
fine.
about to ask that. How is your wife? Then you know, most successful people, a lot of people would think that they have everything, and of course they are already married and they're settled in and they have this family and so on. But it's also amazing that you are a young man, and a
Yeah,
lot of people who don't know if you are married. Some people will think that you are married, some people think that you're in a relationship, some people don't think that you're in a relationship. We're definitely going to get into all of those down the road in the show. But once again, you are welcome to this beautiful show, The Defining Decade.
thank you for having me here. It's an
Okay.
honor to be here.
Yes, sir. We're going to be talking about important things, like really, really deep things about the society. We believe that we live in a defining decade. We believe that we live in a time where things are changing a lot. Things are fast changing. There is evolutions a lot in the industrial, the technological, the business sectors, and all the different spheres of sectors of life. Things are changing fast and rapidly. And the purpose of this show is to bring people like yourself who are doing something, who are helping themselves, because a lot of people need help. A lot of people need knowledge. We believe that knowledge prospers us and makes us better. So we want to bring you on the show today because we want you to give us your insight, what you've done differently over the years that has caused you to be successful. Because we believe that people need these things. The people need these things. Young people like myself and like yourself, millennials like us, need these things to be able to be successful in a defining decade like the ones we find ourselves. So again, sir, I want to welcome you to the show. Please go ahead and greet the viewers, the people listening to you. We have quite a few people in the comment section. If you want to say hello to them, that would be awesome.
Okay, hi everyone. I'm so happy. I'm so happy and glad to be here, and I'm really sure that we are going to have a great time, and we're going to. It's mutual, so you can also type on the comments because we want to interact with you. We want to inspire some of you and also get inspired by some of you. So we think
Absolutely.
we have a few experience, and we want to share with you and also learn from you. So it's my pleasure being here, and thank you very much, Mr. Julius, for having me here. It's a
Thank you,
pleasure.
sir. Thank you. Awesome, awesome. Man, before I go ahead, there is something happening in the comment section. It's not I noticed that people are coming, they're not taking the greeting you are giving them, they're focused on that part of you that is whether married or single. So I don't know why particularly, but Charisma said that he is single, but there are girls who are in a relationship with him without his knowledge. So I'm pretty sure you have some secret admirer somewhere, and or I don't know. In the church setup, we call them spirit wives.
Oh, really? That's
I know.
interesting. I'm glad to hear that.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So, anyways, we're going to go ahead. Hi to I think he's one of your people there in the office. Gospel mannequin Jimmy, very hardworking and a positive guy. I like him.
Yeah.
We have Geraldine Foba in the comment section as well, saying hi to us. We have Charisma, of course, who is always there to support. Hello, guys. Welcome. Please go ahead and share the link as you join. Before I go ahead and get started, sir, we are faced with a fundamental problem. And my first question to you is going to be about the fundamental problem we are faced with, right? We are talking about the defining decade. The fact is that anybody that would invest in any form of business today, be it a career path, be it whatever they choose to do and do it well, they will be successful in the next few years. So, which means that it is our goal to encourage people to get into whatever is their passion and get it done, because success is coming. Success will not pass them by. Now, before they go ahead and get started, a lot of people are tired of the systems. A lot of people are tired of the systems they find themselves in, right? You know that in our society, in our conversation today, we'll be making a case study to the case of Cameroon and, of course, the world in general. In a society like Cameroon, people get out of universities with master's degrees, with bachelor's degrees, and even the people with PhDs. They can't find jobs. They can't find comfortable things to do. You know, most of these people have relegated in blaming the government, in blaming the system, in laying blames on even their birth, where they were born, and all those different things, right? And as a result of that, circumstances have hit them and have relegated them to a point where they are now in a place where they regret, right? There's a lot of regret. There is no way, they don't see a future for them. But myself and yourself, we believe that there is a future. You are a young entrepreneur, and you have been able to achieve a lot in a short time. So I would like to ask you to relate with these people first. Before you share them your success stories and tips, let us both relate with these people. Let us both agree that yes, there is a problem, and state the problems. This is the problem we have in our society. This is the reason why things are failing. You know, this is the problems we are facing nowadays. Let's relate with them by stating some of these problems, so that they will understand that we see the same like they see. We have been there, we were once there, we understand these problems, and because we understand these problems, this is now the proposed solution by the path that we have taken, and we are now here. So let us go ahead and state some of those problems. So what, in your opinion, would be, from your observation and your experience, will be the challenges or the problem of Cameroon, the problem of youth, the problem of millennials, even older people, not just young people, that has caused them to be relegated to where they are today, or to be caught up in this looping system that we happen to find ourselves today?
Okay, that's a very interesting one. Of course, there's so many problems of job opportunities. People having master's degree or PhDs, and they're still jobless,
Mhm.
and are a lot of things happening. Yeah. What I think is, we have a lot to give to our communities, a
Mhm.
lot.
Mhm.
Though we know the state finds it very challenging to grant job opportunities and all of that.
Mhm.
But for me, while growing up, I've never really seen trying to work for for the state or something.
Mhm. Mhm.
Yeah, but these are realities, of course. These are realities.
Mhm.
It's pretty hard getting a job, and all of that. It's very hard to do that. And the education system too that we have, a little bit skeptical somehow, because the teachers really archaic stuff, you know. Like for real, bro. I'm a computer engineer, and
Uh-huh.
a lot of things I know I do right now. These are things I study on my own.
On your
But
own.
what we were teaching, what we were learning in school, it was very quite challenging to be
Mhm.
able to meet up with international standards,
Mhm.
because they keep teaching us the basic things. They keep
Mhm.
teaching us, what was set up in
Mhm.
1980s, 1990s,
Yeah.
2000s, and it's quite different. That age was a different age. Now we are in the technology age, we're in the information age. So
Mhm.
things are supposed to evolve. Things are, we need to do things now in a specified way. And
Mhm.
sometimes our system of education really doesn't grant us the capabilities to just round up and have a matrix of a job to be able to go out there and get a job. So most of the times you see they're talking about 5 years experience before you have a
Mhm.
job,
Mhm.
and
Mhm.
quite a few things. So those are the challenges. So if the educational system is being worked on in such a way that when people are coming out of the educational system, they are apt. They will not have to. You can come out with PhD and you still have to go for an internship. Come
Mm.
on,
Yeah.
it doesn't make
Doesn't
no
make any
sense.
sense.
So
That's right. Yes, sir.
so the educational system should be more practical,
Hmm. I
uh,
like that.
and should be more tailored to the system we are in.
Wow.
So I just stated the problems, though.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. I
so
definitely agree with you on that particular problem. You are simply saying that our educational system has refused to change over time, and most of the stuff they teach in the schools, which at the end of the day, these students, our brothers and sisters, graduate with these bachelors, masters, and PhDs, are not very practical. And so when they are now when they now get into the business world, or into reality, these things become non-practical to them, and as a result they cannot even put what they have studied in use in any way. Now, that is a very fundamental problem that you've stated there, and I'm definitely going to pick your thoughts back on this as we proceed down the show. Um, there are definitely also other problems that I'll see also one that we state and talk about them, because you go out every day and you meet local vendors, right? You definitely meet that mama that is selling oranges beside the road, and you probably purchase oranges for 200 francs. You definitely meet that lady that is selling plums. Her job description is to sell plums. Those are petit vendors on the streets that are selling small things. Now I want us to look at problems not just from also the educational side of things, but at the level of the local people, right? A bayam selam, we call them bayam selams. Her job is to get up in the morning, hop behind a taxi that has bags of vegetables, struggle to purchase 2 bags of njama jama. When she purchased that, her job now is to come back and now sell that in retail, that in small quantities in her local community, so that people can buy, and she at the end makes a little living out of it. So I want to also state something in my experience in my childhood growing up. When I was growing up, there was a time that I was selling gâteau. Gâteau is in French, it says beignet, right? So I will get up in the morning, I will go to a bakery. Now, when I go to a bakery, I'll go to that bakery with 2,000 francs, about $4. I'll purchase a bucket of gâteau. The goal was to sell that bucket of gâteau for 2,500 francs, so that I have made for that day 500 francs. So my entire 8 hours of investment that day, hovering around the entire city, was to make a profit of 500 francs, which is equal to $1, right? When I do that, I made sure that if I have to eat something, I should not even eat the gâteau, because any gâteau that is deducted from that bucket is that 50 francs that I'm that I'm losing. So I cannot even desire my own gâteau, or I cannot even desire to spend a portion of my money to eat anything else, because that will be reducing my capital or whatever profit I have made for that day. Now we have this as a reality. We have university graduates, bro, that um, are on the streets selling this gâteau on daily basis. These are problems of the society. These are problems that we are faced with every day. Can situations like this change? Yes, they can definitely change. I want us to still look at this situation from their perspectives, right? I know you've talked about the situation from the educational part. Can you talk about the reality from your observation, from the local people, those that did not go to school at all, what they are faced with on a daily basis, and those challenges, before we now get into the portion of how we can send some words to them, or a coaching to them, by your experience so that they can make that little petite business by the road a better investment for themselves?
Um, I'm not sure I got your question very correctly. Please, can
Okay.
you rephrase that? Yeah.
Yes, sir. I'm still at the point where we are stating problems, right? I want us to not rush into encouraging people to get into investments and so on, because there is a reality. A good
Yeah.
example is the one that you just stated about our educational system refusing to update, right? I'm still also on the point that I'm also still believing that there are certain realities at the level of the local people, right? Farmers, right? That mama in the village that has to depend on harvesting crops to come and sell and so on, uh, uh, and all of that. I just want us to keep stating some of these realities by observation and by experience where you come from. Let me put it this way: use your reality when you grew up and before you started Spark Africa, right? And the amazing things you are doing right now. What was the reality you found yourself in? How were things for you? How difficult were things? What were the challenges you faced? Let me put it that way so it could best state into those realities.
Okay. This is something I've never really spoken about it in public.
Okay.
But growing up, I was going through a lot of things, but
Okay.
so many people thought that everything was fine for me. But I was going through a lot, because first of all, my parents, they usually transferred them like after every 2 years to
Mm-hmm.
different towns in Cameroon.
Mm-hmm.
So when they transferred them, my other sisters were in boarding school, so I had to be moving with them. So
Mm-hmm.
from one place to the other,
Mm-hmm.
one place to the other. And one time they transferred us right to the village, in Bansa, Kumbu, and it was a very interesting time. It was quite difficult for everyone because back in the village you need to do things like the villagers do, and quite
Yeah.
quite quite a lot of things. You need to blend in,
Yeah.
and it was very challenging for me. But sometimes there's problem of even feeding. Can you imagine?
Mm.
You go to school, you don't eat before going to school. This was a reality,
Yeah.
seriously. But just because I bake well, I oil, I go to school, they see me fresh, they don't know my stomach is empty.
Mm-hmm.
So with this kind of realities, there's no way to kind of think out of the box. There's no way you're in school, you're instead focusing on what you're not eating,
Mm-hmm.
you're instead focusing on the challenges,
Yes, sir.
sometimes no light,
Mm-hmm.
there was no light. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
they cut lights all the time, and sometimes we had internet issues.
Mm-hmm.
I remember back then, even getting a TV was a problem. So
Mm-hmm.
into you're kind of confined into a particular place. You're
Mm-hmm.
kind of confined into a particular way of thinking. Like
Mm-hmm.
those around you, nobody's thinking out of the box. Nobody's, trying anything. They're
Mm-hmm.
just okay with the kind of mediocre life they're living. They're okay with just going to the farm and farming
And
to
farming, yes, sir.
eat, to feed themselves,
Mm-hmm.
and not even thinking about how the farming, they weren't even thinking of making money.
That's
So the
right.
kind of environment we find ourselves to, it's where you're confined. There's no internet, there's no TV.
There is nothing. Yeah.
Yeah. So that time we're kind of thinking like TV was for these kind of big guys.
The rich people. Yeah,
When
right.
you remember when the parabolic antennas just came up?
Man, that was
That,
technical
that was
imagination.
the WhatsApp of now. So
Yes.
so any house that had the parabolic, you see them having all the channels. We're looking at that like luxury. So just the environment was not very conducive to be able to even think.
Mm-hmm.
So those were quite quite a lot of stuff. I'm sorry I cannot say a lot of things right now. I might say sometime when we
Okay.
have more time. So realities of life, like what
Yeah.
I was going through. But on the other side, everybody was like, "Oh, Tim should be from a very,
Wealthy
very
home and yeah.
wealthy home and stuff, because the way it looks and all that." But I was going through a lot. I was almost, I could not speak in front of everybody. I was because I was new in every 2 years we need to move, you need
Mhm.
to start life all over. So
Yeah. Yeah.
it was so challenging, but thank God, He blessed me in such a way that I was quite smart that time, even while growing up young, that I could adapt in all of that. But different situation.
Mm.
I've met all category of people, of youth. So I know the challenges I was facing with them, and I imagine what they could be facing while still being in that setting,
That
while
same
still
setting.
being
Mm.
right there.
Mhm.
So
That is
it was quite, it's quite
Yeah, that is
something.
very relational, sir. What you just said is when you sit back now and you recall those days and you imagine young people like yourself, even people now at the same at your same age mates or people who are even older than you that are still in that same situation. It is really a painful something. It's not something that we can just talk and just pass like that. I personally relate to you as well when you were sharing the situations of no electricity at times, or you even mentioned internet, bro. Internet came, but even now to some people,
I
back
know.
you know what I'm saying. That TV you are mentioning was a myth because I remember the days where we used to stand outside to listen to a movie play in a video club. You know, we used to stand outside and you're hearing the days of Bruce Lee, Jet Li, and the Jackie Chan. We stand
Right.
outside and they're fighting and we are listening. We had to listen to a movie to be able to entertain ourselves. I also recall the days where I used to use we would study with bush lamps. Those bush lamps because there's no electricity. You gotta light up those
But
lamps to study.
you use the bush lamps,
I did, sir. I did for a good portion of my life, man. Throughout my secondary education, like from 1 to from 3, the bush lamp was my saving grace right there, honestly. Uh, you know,
Wow.
and we did
Right.
not have textbooks. It's not even like you were having textbooks to study and so on. We had to copy notes. You remember the copying notes part?
Come on, of course. I some part of my life, like secondary school, some people would believe this, but I almost didn't have quite some textbooks though.
Hmm.
Like even like and it didn't for me it was working out well because it didn't really seem like I didn't have one because I developed and we were not even talking of the problem, the realities yet, but I developed that instead helped me, not having textbook, it helped me to be able to assimilate a
Mm-hmm.
lot of information within a short time. And
Mm-hmm.
since I don't have the textbook, I could take a textbook and within 1 hour I've gone through it and then know
Mm-hmm.
everything, everything's on
Mm-hmm.
my mind.
Mm-hmm.
So that difficulty I said turned it into a blessing
A
somehow.
blessing. That's right.
Yeah, but it was quite challenging not
Yes,
having.
sir. Yes, sir. I do relate with you on that, and that brings me to the point where we are talk about what we do with the challenges we are facing, right? What we do
Yeah.
amid the challenges that we face. A good example is you did not have textbooks. When you go to school, you find somebody that had a textbook. All you need is 1 hour to go through it. I had the same thing. There's this textbook that they used to make us want to buy map reading. So we had to draw
Yeah.
some maps and all those.
Can please can you give me some 30 seconds? I have a little challenge with my Wi-Fi. I just need to set it up. Just
All
30
right.
seconds,
Go
please.
ahead and do
Thank
that, and then you
you.
can join me here real quick. Yeah. So I was talking about the textbooks that we needed to have back there. I remember having to buy a geography textbook, and then well, not buying it, borrow a geography textbook for about a day to draw all my maps. When they are teaching in class, I make sure that I kept the space is empty, blank. Then when I get a chance to borrow a textbook, I sit there for like the entire night and I draw all my maps. Same with my biology. I don't know if anybody went through that same process, but I will borrow a biology textbook, an anatomy textbook, go home, draw all my diagrams, right? And label them, labeling the diagram. So the alimentary canal, the structures of the skin, the heart, draw all of those things, label them, and then of course that's how I was able to take my lab manual. We called them back there lab manual to the teacher for grading and so on. So that is how we were able to survive, even though there were these realities. So we are agreeing, and we are also stating today that there are certain realities, and these realities are what we find ourselves in. Yes, it is true that we have to sell oranges on the streets. I sold gâteau on the streets. I sold shoes. There was a time that we had to buy shoes. A guy will go to Bafusam, purchase a bag of shoes, come retail them to us. We now take them and now also retail them to individuals in our neighborhood. I used to carry a backpack and hold, I think we have Mr. Tim back. Hello, sir. Are you okay back? Are you good?
Yeah, I'm good.
Awesome. So it's good to have you again. So I was just sharing again some vendor experiences where I used to hop around, right? I had a friend that would purchase a bag of shoes in Bafusam, come down, retail them to us, and then now we intend to retail them to the people in the neighborhood, in the pairs like that. And that's how we're able to make some livings in order to survive. Even at the level of the university, life was still challenging. I used to play music for survival. I used to play music in churches.
Yeah.
Go and play here on Sunday. They give you, I don't know if you've been in that situation as well. This is now to the people who are in the music sectors and all of that. We had to go play music, get some small 1-5. If they give you 1-5, it means that that pastor is a nice pastor. I take that 1-5. I will survive through the university like that. One time we went and played for Kumba, and played in one program in Kumba. They gave us 15,000. That was the biggest amount I ever received in that season, as a musician. That day at Tumba, the bars, the whole program, I was playing the bass. I was a bassist. So I played, and the pastor was so
nice.
happy that he gave my friend and he gave me each 15,000 francs. That was amazing. We were excited, and that was just the reality. And these are the realities that we find ourselves in. Now, let's talk about the entrepreneurial mindset, sir. You said something that even while they were transferring you guys around and you had to go to different schools and all of those challenges, you had a mindset that was different. Now, let's talk about the mindset that you had. What made you different from everybody else, that you decided to start self-educating yourself? You decided that you don't want to be tied to the system. Even though the system says this, you want to think otherwise. So you started thinking out of the system. You started trying to outsmart the system. What happened? What was that situation? What happened that there was that break? How did you get those thoughts? Was it a coaching? Was it your personal decisions to move out of that thinking? Did you see that the system had a problem and you wanted a better way to change it? Talk to us about that mindset you had that made you different and which is the reason for your success today.
I think I didn't really have a coaching. It just happened. Like I was just adapting in every situation.
Okay.
Trying. I could fit in any milieu. You could put me among wheresoever. You give me like 2 days. I'm in the guys. You feel like you've known each other for like 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
So that was some of the skills I was building, trying to relate anywhere at any time, no matter whether they're bikers or the farmers. I go farm with them. I go, back in the village, went back to the village. I intersected the group. We usually go to the forest, go and hike on mountains.
Yeah.
You hold the like a branch and you're swinging from one tree to the other. Sometimes you fall down. So you just integrate the group and you guys are growing, you guys are having a lot of fun. And I was trying a lot of things. What I tried to do is that, I don't know how intentional that was, but I tried to do everything possible. I was doing, try to be the best in school. I do my best in school. Come back home, I'm playing football, you know, with the guys. I was not yet into music back then. I play football, you know, play basketball, rugby, all this kind, volleyball. I've done everything. Like I was trying to do everything possible to have the maximum fun as possible. I didn't want to regret the moment. So I was having my best life that time. Like with little or nothing, I had the fun of my life. So I think that was quite instrumental for me because doing that, I've developed a lot of skills. So wheresoever I am, in whatever school I was playing in the school team, the football team, you know, in secondary school, I started when I saw cricket. I don't know if you know cricket.
Yes.
I went into the cricket and I learned it, and we got on the national team. And so we're experiencing a lot of stuff going back there. So I was doing as many things I could. You know, got into fashion parade in school, you know, you know, competing among 1,000 people and winning the contest. It was amazing, you know, getting people call you master, they call you master, you know, the whole school. It was amazing. Those were mind-blowing things. So I developed a habit of winning. Winning in class, winning out of class, in the field, wheresoever. Trying to have as much fun as possible. The mindset was never to be the best, you know, but thank God he helped me out
That's right.
to be excelling in all those things. So I was just trying to have fun. I was just trying to do things, you know, that people don't want to do. Like trying to meet the best guys around. You know, I was with the smartest guys in class. I was with the dumbest guys in class. I was mixing. In class, I was sitting in the back. Those who know me, I was calm, but I was sitting in the back with the guys having fun. So just having, doing my life, you know, trying to experience life. So the good, the bad, the ugly, I've gone through all of that. And for me, everybody that know me while I was growing up, I tried to dare a lot. I dared the craziest thing. If you show me that, okay, this is something that people want to do, that's what I'm going for. You know, like people, something that people are scared of, that's what I'm going in for. So that built a lot of, you know, confidence. Literally, I feel in a lot of things, I literally feel like on my own perspective, but on other people's perspective, they kind of found it like a success, you know. And but I knew it was a failure. But I tried to do so many things, try to learn as many things as possible. I got into music in university. It's not something I grew up with. Before university, I was not into anything musical, you know. But just getting to university, I was more into sports, so I wanted to learn something more. My sister was getting married, so I had to learn the saxophone to play at her wedding. And within a month or so, I learned the saxophone, you know, with Dr. Yimbe. I met him, and you know, I told him that, okay, this is what I want to do, you know. And he taught me, you know, we accelerated the stuff. Got my mom to buy me a saxophone. She actually went and borrowed money, you know. It's a crazy story. My mom borrowed money, called I and Dr. Yimbe and gave us the money. Okay, Tim has been asking me, he want to learn this, want to do this, he's interested in that. My mom borrowed money from the Jangi in her workplace, gave us the money. As I and Dr. Yimbe were going to buy the saxophone, she called us back and took back her money. She took back because she was like, what the hell is saxophone? Where are you going with this? But she took back the money and gave. I didn't even know what Yimbe was thinking back then. But We left, we went back disappointed, but I came back to my mom. I said, this is really what I want to do. Convinced her again for like 2 weeks. She borrowed the money again. And she called I and Dr. Yembe. We took the money, went out to buy the saxophone, we tested the stuff. He tested it. Then we had to wait for quite some time to make sure that she doesn't call us back to request the money.
Take the money again.
So at last we were like, we called her, like, okay, can we? She said, yeah, okay, go ahead. So we got it now, and I started learning and growing, and I bet you the saxophone has opened me a lot of doors. So building all those skills, no matter what you're doing. I was a computer engineer, but I did marketing in school. I didn't know why I was doing that. I just wanted to learn stuff. I wanted to know a lot of things. I connected with people that were good in whatsoever they were doing. I had a friend called Fro Emmanuel too. Growing up in school back then, we were like the first two in class. Either he's first or I'm the first. So I usually see the guy, he's developing website. I'm like, oh my God. So how does this guy do all these things? He's building website, he's building applications, and we're still in level 2. So I reached out to him and I was like, how are you doing all of that? So he says he's learning his own and stuff. So I just said I want to learn, because what you do in school, they just teach you the basics. You can't actually apply that into, So I started learning. I reached to him, learn how to do the stuff. Then we started competing. Like he does something, I do another thing.
You do it,
I make sure I want to do better. So we're building a positive environment, positive mindset of wanting to try new things, wanting to develop stuff, wanting to, we're just trying to strive in everything, trying to do everything excellently. And I did my first, I attempted something else. Like when I just got music, my first concert I did it in Hilton. And that's a crazy story on its own, because I wanted to try my best, because there's nothing to lose. Sometimes we're scared of doing things, we're scared of trying things. But this decade, like our team is saying, this is a defining decade. We have nothing to lose. You're young, you're not married yet. You have all the time of your life to try as many things and fail as many things as possible, because you have the time. You have the time to try those things. You have the time to fail over and over.
And yes, sir.
Yeah, and the fun is, when you fail forward. You fail, you learn another way of
when you fail, you fail forward. I like that.
So when I actually was about leaving university, I was now intentional about being in this system and not trying to let the system control me. I've always loved to do things. So thank God I was not seeking to get a job, and I've had all opportunities to get the job wheresoever I want. But that didn't, that was because of the skills I was getting from outside. Any company I go to, the director wants to hire me exactly because of the skills that I was building. Because I didn't really just focus on engineering. Sometimes I focus more on the music, I focus on the playing, sports, all of this. So I was kind of diverse in different skills. So just like David, David was busy working somewhere. He was not really complaining about Saul, about how terrible Saul was doing. He was busy in the forest. We should be busy. We should not have time to sit and be complaining. I'll never you will hardly see me complain.
Yes,
Never.
sir. Yes, sir.
Even though I'm going through what, if I don't have money, I have my saxophone. I've gone to weddings that I was not invited to and played the saxophone. At Hilton, I just go and I say, hey guys, I'm a guest artist. And I see the MC, I tell them, okay, I have this gig I have to do for it. So they see the way you dress, the way you package, and they feel like, okay, this guy cannot just come from nowhere and
Yeah.
do this. So they put me in the space and they're like, oh, hello, sir, where do you think you can feature? And I go there, I don't know any of the guys. I go there and I make sure I play the best saxophone I could ever play. Like, that was the last time I played the saxophone. Then you see guys come in and give you money and all of that. And that was able to sustain me. So sometimes we need to build skills that are sustaining. Sometimes we focus on things that I believe many people focus on things that are not really sustaining, things that can keep you going. And we need to build skills that can be turned into money. So it's very important that
I definitely agree with you on that. And you said a bunch of very important things, man. And just wow. First of all, I want to highlight certain things you've said. I picked up a word. I don't know if I can call it diversity or diversification of the things that you could be good at. You were in school, you were striving to being the best in class, you were playing soccer at the same time, you did not neglect having fun, having a good time. You were trying to play soccer at the same time, you were learning to play cricket. How many people in Cameroon even understand what cricket is? Very few. You understand? Then you got into modeling. At some point you were a model, right? Walking up and down trying to model and looking good and all of that to win competitions and all of that. Then boom, you saw your guy Emmanuel on websites. You're like, man, this dude, I gotta get into websites. You get there and you learn it. All these different things that you were learning opened your mind and gave you a wider perspective of what life is and what the world is, and now gave you an understanding that even with the opportunities that came to you that would have looped you. I call that a loop because let's say you had accepted one of those jobs and you are being paid some 200,000 or some 100,000 somewhere. You will now be locked into a system, caged into a system where you get that money, pay bills, wait for the next check, pay bills, wait for the next check, and that way you are now set up in a loop. There is no progress and all of that. You just keep looping. So I want to highlight that aspect of diversity, right? Personally, I respond to it by also saying that when I got here to the States, right? One of the things that has made me, let me use the word, a Superman in this nation here is because of diversity in my mindset. There was a time that I was doing jobs for fun. So I would only work most 3 months on a job, I quit. 3 months on a job, I quit. I want to try different things. When I was in Cameroon, I used to watch movies, and I watch this guy James Bond. He will wear a white tuxedo and he will be a caterer at an event, right? So he carry wines in trays and he goes through all those rich people and they drink it. I said, okay, I'm going to try that. So I looked for that industry and I got involved and got hired and I did that job. 3 months, I quit. I went into another field, started another one. 3 months, I quit. Got another, just like that, back and forth. Now, after doing that, there is a little noise. I don't know if you're noticing it.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's coming from what exactly. Check if your cables are all intact. Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, but there's still a little noise there.
Yeah, let's see. I don't know why there is that noise. Let's see. I know it's anyways, before I continue, Mr. Cadmiel from Millennium watching all the way in Bamenda is saying, oh yes, the acquisition and perfection of diverse skill sets can sustain us in this defining decade. Where A can keep us, B can sustain us. Interesting show. That is very correct. Where A can keep us, B can sustain us. So the diversity definitely helps out a lot. Your experiences with it is true. my experiences with it is also very true. Now, I want to say something really quick before we get into Spark Africa and what you are doing. Let me share with you this brief story. There's been this. Can you hear me? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. There's been this dramatic rise in children diagnosed with autism in the past decade, right? There's also been the divorce rate across the world is rising really fast. Mental illness diagnoses are also rising really fast, which means that there must be something wrong. You would think that there is definitely something wrong. They were looking, uh, they were looking to strengthen there is a situation where I think if I want to explain that situation, it was a situation or something that happened during the First World War, right? Where the planes that went to war came back. When the planes came back, what happened is that there were a lot of bullet holes on some of the planes. So when the engineers of those planes, the mechanics of those planes saw those bullet holes, they started looking for ways of fixing those bullet holes or fixing the plane or making the planes stronger so that the bullets could not penetrate the planes. And so they were all trying to figure out what they could do at that time to solve that problem and make those planes a lot more harder. So they were looking for different methods, things to do in order to reinforce those metals and for them to be able to withstand. And now, so their immediate thought was to build up the places or clusters that they could fill up those holes, those red dots. And these different clusters were made with metal, very strong aluminums or metals that could help the planes withstand bullets or from penetrating them like that. But then something they failed to understand was that these planes were being shot at, and the planes had bullet holes, but the planes were able to return. The planes did not crash. The planes were able to return, which means that while they were focused on solving the problem of bullet holes, they did not understand that there were certain key areas on the planes that those bullets had missed. If they focused rather on those key areas, which could be the dangerous part of the planes, that if at all bullets touch them, it will lead to the planes crashing. They were not focused on that. They were focusing on the fact that if bullets could hit this place and the bullets went through, then we should focus on reinforcing this particular place. So their engineers were gathered and they were trying to figure out how they could make the planes stronger and all of that. But then there was this one guy, he was a mathematician called Abraham Ward. Abraham Ward came a different conclusion in entirety. He said the red dots don't only represent the damage on the planes that came home. He said that instead of us focusing on reinforcing those red dots or those damages or those holes on those planes that came home, we should rather focus on reinforcing those aspects of the plane that, if touched by a bullet, will crash the planes, will destroy the planes. So, which means that on that fighter jet, there are certain places on there that when you hit with a bullet, it will cause the plane to crash. While there are other places that when you hit, the plane will not crash. So we should rather invest our money or our resources in reinforcing the protection around the engine, around the different key areas that can easily crash the plane. Now, right there was a concept that he was introducing, which is where I'm now taking you to. Is the concept of is something we call in psychology the survivorship bias, which is when we look at things that survive and we focus on them rather than focus on things that did not survive. We're supposed to focus on things that did not survive rather than focus on things that survive. I don't know if you're following me. I don't know if you're with me on this same page. The
Yeah.
survivorship bias talks of us focusing on things that did not survive rather than things that survive. It's also bringing me now to the introduction of something.
Yeah.
It looks like that is dealing with the noise, that is trying to take care of the noise. Now, it's bringing me now to wanting to talk about something very important, right? Again, the survivorship bias wants us to focus on things that will not survive or did not survive or things that need our attention rather than things that will survive or survived, right? A lot of people, sir, have buried their talents or their successes in the cemeteries of the past achievements, you know. And you said something which I want to bring up back on the screen. You said, in this defining decade, there are times that you will fail, but when you fail forward. You fail forward, which means that we know that going to this battle, we're going to be shot at. There's going to be a lot of bullet holes. But when we come back to draw a game plan for round two or to go back into battle, we should come up with a plan that will protect us so that we don't have to fail again. It means that we will be attacked on our way. We will have failures. We will have different forms of difficulties and challenges. But when we fail forward. We know that success will come at a certain point. So we don't rely on the failure. We don't focus on the failure. That noise is a little bit serious. Let's see. Let's see if that solves the problem. Can you hear me?
Yeah, but there's still a little bit of noise.
Yeah, I don't know. Let's see if I can try to fix it. Hold on 1 second. Okay.
Okay.
Well, the people in the audience are saying that it's manageable. So let's just try. I don't know why it's coming from. It's definitely. I don't know. It's coming from your audio, I think, somehow. But let's just manage. I think it's okay. People can hear us, so that's what matters. Okay, so that is the survivorship bias, right? Let us relate this and talk about Spark Africa. What Spark Africa is? Spark Africa definitely had challenges, went through survivorship, had challenges, was able to overcome the challenges, and it's a successful company today. It's a very successful company today. Now, um, again, you are the CEO of Spark, one of Africa's most promising and futuristic tech companies. And you guys focus on e-commerce, digital marketing, IT integration, integrated solutions, and many other things. And of course, the goal, according to what you mentioned, is to build a world-class company here there in Africa that will be a light for many young people, encourage the youth, and also create a working environment, a comfortable working environment, and create jobs for most of the young people who graduate in this defined field in the different schools. So can you please talk to us a little bit about Spark Africa, how you all came out with this initiative, and what is the goal of Spark? And what are you guys, where you guys are now, and what are you guys trying to achieve in this defining decade?
All right. Yeah. Thank you for the brief summary there. Spark is all about we've created I think the first multi-vendor platform, multi-vendor e-business and e-commerce platform. E-business, that's what we're doing with an e-commerce platform where people can sell goods and services at the best prices and at the fastest and easiest ways possible. That's part of it. That's what we're building, and we are into e-business, e-commerce, and also trying to digitalize the real estate part of it. Though we started the company last year, the 20th of April. It was one of the most challenging years ever, 2020, 20th April 2020, as we were at the peak of COVID.
COVID,
But
yes.
it was challenging, because we had planned to do a very massive launching of Spark AFRIK, but COVID came and shut everything.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, it came and shut everything down, but it was good since we were putting in a product that's supposed to be used wirelessly without really interacting with people. So it was just a test. I believe it was just a test to really show that this is the time where we need e-commerce in Africa, e-business in Africa as the main thing, like never before. We need e-business. We need to come up with integrated IT integrated solutions to meet up with our needs. We are working on quite a lot of digital, innovations, and that I can't talk about right now. But we're creating Spark to be one of the models, of digital entrepreneurship, creating solutions to problems in Africa and the world at large.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
I could keep talking about Spark for a very long time, but let me just
Wow. It's a great initiative. It's definitely the evolution initiative that we need in this defining decade. And I also see that you are working with a lot of young people, like yourself. What was the reason for the choice of working with the younger people like that? And of course, encouraging them. I also see that you're making a great strides, getting the older people and people in government involved in initiatives like this. What is the game plan? Why that? I noticed again, like I said, you're going with both the young people at the same time. You're not ignoring the people that have been ahead, or people in government and older people.
Okay, I'll start from working with young people. The young people are so smart. We are so smart. We are very enthusiastic about creating a change. About the young people have a lot of talent. And we don't want to do things with a lot of rules. We need to be very open-minded, and I think that's one of the strengths of young people. So we're creating a spark to be like very flexible. You see us most of the times dancing, you see us having fun in the office, Sometimes we make the environment very flexible, and anybody can work with us. Anybody can feel like, oh, this is a place where they care. This is a place where you can have fun and make impact. Everybody is concentrated on being innovative, concentrated on the plan and the goal, and we make sure we are achieving the goal. So we're setting targets and achieving it. So the young people are very easy to handle in that. But it's very challenging because they have young people have so many things going on
in their mind. Right.
Thank God that we have been able to have the best team in place, and we believe that as young people, Christ is strengthening us, and we can do all things through Christ who strengthens us. So it doesn't matter how young we are, it doesn't matter our stature. We believe that we are the leaders of today, not the leaders of tomorrow. And we need to be putting in place really powerful structures to show that the young people are thinking, the young people can do stuff. We don't just make plans, but we make sure we do it.
That's right.
We put goals and we do it. And of course, networking is very good. So meeting people in all fields of life, from the bottom to the top, the mechanics, the hairdressers, stylists, the dancers, everybody needs to be involved in creating a better digital economy. Because now we're in the information age, everybody needs to be informed. Everybody needs to know how to innovate, how to use the computer, how to for personal things, So we are very strategic in that, and we believe that God has put in us everything that we need to go out there. So we're meeting everybody and trying to be impactful in whatsoever situation, in whatsoever state, in all the fields.
Wow. That's brilliant, man. That's definitely it. But then quickly mention the role of the government, the role of the older folk, because I like the fact that you are not neglecting the fact that even our fathers, the older generation should be part of the information and the technology phase of this. So how do they play? What role do they play in Spark?
Who exactly? Can you say that again?
Oh, I was referring to the older generation, and of course the government, because I also see that you do integrate, the older generation into Spark and the activities of Spark. What is the game plan here? I like the fact that first you guys do integrate them. What is the goal of integrating them? Is it so that they can also be a part of the changes and the transformations that are going on, or what exactly?
Yeah, like I said, we are in the information age, and we
Mhm,
need to be very critical. The digital platforms are for everyone,
mhm,
and sometimes the old guys shy away, thinking that there's something for the youth. So we
mhm.
need to involve them and show
We need
them
to.
how things are done. We need to
Mhm,
involve them and show them how we can thrive by using all these platforms. They
mhm,
too can use the platforms. They too can can build, trust in us, and
mm.
we need their blessings. The
That's
older people, they have a lot of experience. They've been there for quite a while, and
mhm.
we should be able to learn the strategies and try to digitalize their strategies, try to
That's right.
digitalize their way of thinking, all their way of conception, and all of that is very, very important. So
Okay.
we don't want to leave anybody out. We are meeting with, we have met with so many businessmen across the territory, Cameroon. We've learned from them. We want to connect with them. We want to build partnership with them. We want to
Mhm,
grow. We go to schools too. We talk with the students. Want everybody to feel like we are building this for us.
for
It's
us.
not for it's not for some particular set of people. Everybody can use it, but they just need to know how to integrate it with them. Even the government, we've had quite so many meetings with top government officials, ministers, DOs, mayors, and directors in so many companies and so many ministries. We meet them and we discuss, we hear their say on these things. We try to learn. We want to learn more because we want to build something that is really powerful, something that will serve the community. So they have been serving the community in one way or the other. And even churches, we go to churches, we go to schools, doesn't matter. We want to learn, we want to get. This is the information age, bro. The more information you have, the more powerful you are. And
That's
it
right.
doesn't matter who exactly you are in front. You want to keep learning, you want to keep growing. You hear of machine learning. Machine learning is teaching the computer how to assimilate information and be able to act on its own. Now,
Mhm,
it's the same thing with business. That so many entrepreneurs out there, they don't know. They want
mhm,
to keep doing just what they know. But
mm,
there's what we call business learning.
mm.
You learn, the more people you interact with, the more people you show your product
That's right.
to,
Yes, sir. Mhm.
yeah, you keep learning from them. And when you learn, you come and implement. You don't just learn and learn, but you learn, you get 1 or 2 points from them, and be very intentional about how you're implementing the what you're learning, because that is going to push you forward. So it's
Wow.
very
Wow.
important what we're doing, and we believe that we've been learning a lot, and that's why we're able to grow literally this fast, though we are still at 0.1% of our initial goal of what we
Mhm.
want to see happen in the next 10 years. And we are working very hard daily without really 24/7. Today, I was just rushing, rushing from another meeting, yeah, to get here because I really wanted to enjoy the time here. And later on, I have to go. So we're working 24/7, meeting people, learning. It doesn't matter the age. We learn and we
Mm,
want to grow. We want to build something
that is
powerful,
powerful.
build something
Yes,
that
sir.
is meeting up with the needs of the people. Because if you don't go to the people and listen to them and see what they're doing or see their issues, you never know their problems and how to meet their needs. So if we go
Okay.
out there and listen to people and show what we have done, they're going to criticize, some are going to appreciate, some are going to support you, some are going to partner with you. Let's build this together. Because
That's
Spark
beautiful.
Africa is about the little light that we need to go to get the big flames. And we are just coming with a little light, and we want to work with each and every one of our people out there. Let's build something beautiful. Let's build something powerful, something that nobody has seen. There are quite a lot of innovations out there, and we need to keep innovating. And some of the innovation is when the different innovations come together to create something beautiful.
Wow, 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 wow. That is beautiful. Wow, man, that is deep. That is a lot. A big hand for that. Everybody listening, that is Spark Africa for you. Please, can you tell us briefly what services you guys offer to the public? Because I'm pretty sure people will be reaching out. They want to contact Spark Africa for services. What exactly do you guys offer to the general public? Briefly.
All right, so we want to web development,
Okay.
we're into web development, apps development, and everything. And the main service we're bringing out there is the multi-vendor platform where people can sell, they can build stores, like Amazon does and all these big companies. So
Mhm,
people can actually build stores on our platform. While working, you can run your store on Spark AFRIK, and people
mhm,
all over the territory can purchase stuff from you. You can you can sell your service
mhm.
as service on the platform.
On the
So we
platform.
built, we think one of the first in Cameroon and Central Africa to be able to do such, where people can actually sell the service. Whether you're a hairdresser, you put their hairdresser, people book you, and you can come to them or they come to you. So
Mhm.
it's quite an interesting thing that we're working on, and we've spoken to it to a few people. These guys are making a lot of noise. Let me close the door, please.
Okay. Wow, wow. People, you guys have heard now. That is Spark Africa for you. You guys should go ahead and register with Spark Africa and get your businesses. I mean, I think that every business should be on Spark platform right now, because people, even people who sell fruits on the street these days, I might need a service for somebody who supplies fruits or who sells fruits to cater for an event, so they should be able to digitalize their business by registering to Spark's platform. And of course, we can put those services there and brand it very well for them. So, whatever business you're doing, people, if you're listening, please reach out to Spark Africa, based in Yaoundé, Cameroon, and they're going to put your business on their platform. That platform is huge. It doesn't just end in Cameroon, it sparks across the entire Africa, Central Africa, and of course, other parts of the world. Reach out to them, they'll get your business on there. It's going to advertise and sell itself, and of course people will definitely reach out to you. Man, I want to appreciate you for everything that you guys are doing, for the country, for the young people, for being the light to the young people, for leading the way for the young people, and also encouraging them to know that they should not focus on laying blames to a particular system, like you gave the example of David. If he was blaming Saul, he would not have been king, that he was, but he was focused on his assignment. Let's go ahead and focus on what we have to do and do it well, like you have said. Now, my understanding is that Spark has an upcoming gala. Is this like a worship program or a concert? What kind of a program is this? Because me, I'm thinking in my head that maybe we should go and pour our hearts in worship and be slain, or we invite a certain papa to come and prophesy. Right on, papa. What is it going to be like? So tell us the strategy, because I also understand from seeing the flyers that it's definitely unique. It's different from the other concerts that have been done in the mainstream gospel Cameroon. So, what is the goal of the Spark Gala? And tell us a little bit about it.
Yeah, so Spark is a business, and yeah, we are not a church. Even though we're Christians, of course. So we want to do something something different, something out of the norm.
After the norm.
Something that is not a conference. It's a conference actually. It's a blend of a conference and entertainment. Bringing all of that together, bringing people, bringing businesses, because we believe that where we've grown to right now is based on the network we've had, the kind of people we've met, and I was very intentional about traveling to certain countries for a program, to go and learn, to go and meet people and network with them. I go to a lot of places, travel to go meet some huge business people, because I learn from them. I want to grow, So we've been meeting religious leaders, top businessmen, those in the government, young people that are doing amazing things, and we are so inspired by all these people. So we wanted to bring to create something, the Spark Gala Night, that we are bringing all these people that we've been meeting and learning a lot from them, and being entertained, being worshiping, with them, all the concept we blend everything into one.
Wow!
So it's a very unique event. When we were starting it, we didn't know the magnitude, but when we conceived the idea, put everything down, a blend of everything, people really loved it. There's going to be red carpet. There's going to be we're trying to bring in the best partners, people that are doing amazing whatever they're doing, bring them into one place. So people that have businesses, they're booking for tables, to come and display their product, display their services.
Wow.
Because we don't want to grow alone. It's not a Spark event, it's everybody's event. That people come there, they get inspired, they network, they meet a lot of people. We're going to have top directors in companies, we're going to have some few ministers, we're going to have, pastors, we're going to have top businessmen. Like you can see our keynote speaker, Boni Deshako, is one of the biggest entrepreneurs in Africa, in Francophone Africa, and top in Africa. He's really good in business. He's going to be sharing us his tips, in how to be successful. He's going to be interacting with us. We're going to have Mr. Rogers Fogwe is great, businessman. We're going to have a young Gladys who is great in inspiring people, putting the light in us, to go out there and inspire and impact the world. We're having my friend that is coming up right from the US. His name is Rogers, and he's a great businessman in the US there. He's flying to Cameroon for the first time just for this event. So you see how huge people are really respecting it. And we have Steve Funkam, one of the best MCs in Cameroon. He's going to be MCing this event. We have a lot of people, and we have some guest artists. I don't know if you've heard of Maureen Foba of Ablaze Music.
Yes,
I don't know if you've heard of her.
I have heard of her.
Ablaze, Ablaze is amazing. You should check out Ablaze. You should check out Ablaze on Facebook.
I definitely will.
Platform. They are amazing, and they're doing great music out there. And oh my God, someone is waiting for me. They're doing great music out there, so we're going to bring them right here to enjoy ourselves, because the main thing is to have as much fun as possible, and to network with people, get inspired, do the red carpet, take the selfies, showcase what we can do, our services, our products that we've come up with. We have the Made in Cameroon, the whole association sent by, was connected with us by the Minister of Commerce to the whole Made in Cameroon. The people that are producing the Made in Cameroon, they want to come. Everybody want to come for this event because they're seeing the opportunities out here. They see that this is what they need to show the world what we can do. We have like 7 other media houses that are coming to cover the event. No, because they see the magnitude of it. We tell us something small, but people are seeing how big it is. We have young people from the University of Bamenda, Douala, Boya, that are purchasing tickets because we have tickets to be able to limit the number of people coming. Because we leave it, the whole place is going to be flooded. So tickets are 10,000 and they're being sold all on the platforms. And we just want to have fun. We want to get inspired. We're spending a lot of money on this, but I think it's worth it. It's worth meeting people.
Awesome, and that is really good to hear. I think that just the way you sound, the passion, the way you explain it, I wish I can join your friend to be down there in Cameroon to be a part of SPAC, but I will definitely have my team there. I'm releasing you in a little bit. I know that you have a lot of meetings, but I'm releasing you here in a little bit. But I definitely will have my team there. Ablaze TV will be there to fully represent.
Thank you very much. We really appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Ablaze TV will be there to represent. Ablaze Music, of course, will be there. Maureen Foba will be there. I know her. I listen to her a lot. So, yes, she will be there, and a bunch of other amazing artists in Cameroon. So, yes, sir. Keep doing what you guys are doing. Keep being a blessing to the nation. Keep being a major prospect like this for the future Cameroon, because everybody looks up to it, and everybody definitely wants to see things change in the nation, exactly like what you guys are doing. So again, thank you. If you have any last words for the people, just go ahead and say them before we let you get out of the stream today. Yes, sir.
Yeah, I think we've spoken a lot, and I really appreciate this program. Is really amazing, and it's my pleasure, talking with you. It's quite a while. It was great catching up again and seeing how amazing we're doing in different aspects, and looking forward to do quite a lot of things together. Yeah,
absolutely.
It's nice. So what I want to say to everybody is that we should not be scared of doing stuff. We should keep doing stuff. Doesn't matter how small it may look, but we should do it. Or it doesn't matter how big it is, we should not be scared. We do it. And let's not grow individually. Let's not try to grow alone. Let's network. Let's meet ourselves. Let's encourage ourselves. Let us develop really powerful things together. Let us have the spirit of positive competition. That's what they say, positive competition.
That's right.
Meaning that we're not competing to put somebody down, but we're competing to show that it's possible. And as we're going up, that's how everybody is going up together. So thank you very much. And you don't need to forget that we can do all things through Christ who strengthens us. And keep watching Ablaze TV. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. You have a blessed one. My regards to your team. Bye. We see you at the SPAC Gala coming up in November. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much.
Yes, sir. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that was a powerful time we had there with the CEO of SPAC Africa, Mr. Fai Timothy. We were talking about amazing stuff today. Just go back and watch if you did miss the show. This is the Defining Decade, and I'm your host, Mr. Julius T. I'm based here in Houston, Texas. I just want to also leave you with the words that he left you with, also saying that there is need for positive competition. Let us compete, but in a positive way. I also want to charge you to go out there and pursue your dreams. Do not sit back in a comfortable position. Comfortable positions don't help in any way. Get out there and do work. First, we learn, we work, and then we earn. So, ladies and gentlemen, it has been a great time with you guys. Bye for now. I will see you same time next week. Bye.
We are taking over. This is the kingdom invading earth. Go and subdue, go and increase. I give you the show.